Once again, hello everyone, and welcome to our today's webinar with the title Unlock Native Ad Success in Latin America with Financial Offers. It's great to have you all with us. Great to see you coming from so many different countries. My name is Maria. I am the team lead for account managers for performance advertisers here at MGID. And it's a really, really great honor today to have a guest speaker. Simon is the CEO and founder of eMarketMed, which is our years-long trusted partner. So Simon, maybe just very briefly, if you could introduce yourself, and then later on, of course, we will do a deep dive of your success stories.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you so much for the introduction, Maria. I'm Simon. I'm the founder of eMarketMed. We are a performance marketing agency based in Israel and Cyprus. I've been in this field of performance marketing since more than 15 years. And yeah, as you said, MJD is one of our preferred partners. We run 6-7 digit marketing spend over there. And I will be more than glad to share more information about how we do it. And a lot of exciting things that we would like to share about it, guys.
Yeah, I'm sure that the audience is really excited and looking forward to hearing directly from you, to hear some practical examples. So yeah, you guys are in for something very interesting today. Thank you, Simon. So together we will explore how advertisers can scale financial offers in Latin America using native ads at MGID. And of course, these days, nothing can go without AI. So we will also touch upon how AI-powered optimizations can really dramatically improve your performance and how to use them in a smart way. So before we dive into all of that, just a little short introduction. Maybe for those of you who may be new to MGID, we are a global advertising platform. We help brands and publishers succeed on the open web. We're a pretty big company. We operate in 20 offices worldwide, over 850 team members, and more than 17 years of experience in native advertising. So our focus is always delivering innovation, transparency, performance that our advertisers need, especially in competitive verticals like finance, which is definitely one of the biggest ones. Let's just have a quick look at MGID's scale in some of the key regions we operate in. So as you can see here on the slide, we operate across the US, Mexico, Brazil, DACH region, Italy, Poland, Greece, as well as Southeast Asia, serving billions of ad impressions monthly and reaching tens of millions of unique users. Financial offers consistently perform well across some of these markets, and especially LATAM represents a very, very strong opportunity for scaling, which again, we will discuss in a moment. Let's take a look before we jump into examples, just how MGID's AI-powered funnel can help you boost performance at every stage. At the top of the funnel, our generative AI tools allow you to very easily create fresh creatives. It allows you to very easily creatives that have very high impact. And of course, this helps you grab attention and bring your relevant users in at this stage. Then at the middle of a funnel, the CTR guard helps you fight ad fatigue. And by doing that, it keeps your engagement strong. So how does this work? Basically, it's a tool that generates new creatives once it detects a 15% drop in CTR in 3 consecutive days. So basically, whenever your ads start kind of burning out, this AI system will be able to replace them very efficiently, and these new creatives are generated considering the campaign data and top performing creatives. We've actually seen in a lot of cases that these CTR guard ads, once they are generated, they tend to even outperform the original creatives. And of course, at the bottom of the funnel, CPA Tune takes over, which is our AI-powered bidding algo, which again, I will talk about in a second. The top and middle funnel really ensure quality traffic and strong engagement of the users. It is here at the bottom of the funnel where CPA Tune helps focus on cost efficiency and on predictable acquisition results, which is at the end of the day what everyone is after. Just very briefly to explain what it is, how it works. I already said it's an AI-powered bidding algorithm. It's designed to help you achieve more conversions at your target CPA. So this algorithm basically makes predictions based on real-time data and on historical data. It will then dynamically adjust the bids so that you win only those impressions where there's a high probability of a conversion happening. So while you're still paying per click, nothing changes in that sense, but the algorithm now buys impressions that are most likely to be in a click, but go one step further and actually convert. One of the very big benefits of this automated bidding strategy is the fact that CPA Tune then reduces the need for manual optimizations. Of course, you will still need to prepare your campaigns, set a realistic target CPA goal, make sure the tracking is working, of course, allocate a proper budget. But of course, from that point on, most of the optimizations will be done by the algo itself. So this will allow you to spend more time on strategy, on creative testing and scaling, and not simply manual work and adjusting the bids on the platform. Let's now kind of go a bit closer to our main topic of the day. So, of course, this all ties in together. And before I hand it over to Simon, I would like to very briefly show you our recent results with financial offers in Latin America. So here's a quick snapshot. For example, in Argentina, in the options vertical, we have recently seen a lot of success by generating 298 conversions while keeping CPA on target at $8 during a period of 15 days. This was quite recent success. Same in Brazil, for example, in the stocks and bonds vertical, where we delivered 271 conversions. Again, all while keeping the target at $9 over a course of 33 days. And of course, I would like to mention also one of the long-term success stories, which really consistently delivers good results within the options vertical in Brazil, again, where we delivered 711 conversions, again, while achieving the target over a bit longer period of time, so 115 days. So now let's finally see some examples and see exactly how this can be achieved. Simon, tell us, how do you do it? What's your mojo?
I will give a short background. We don't have so much time. So first of all, this is brand new for me. Never done webinar this way. I will explain briefly where it started. So I never believed in somebody that is sharing his tips and tricks until the moment where I've been requested to do it, because I said, what's the benefit of sharing your mojo, your secrets with your direct competitors, which I guess most of you are. But I guess it gave birth to this idea on a glass of wine in an Italian restaurant in Budapest a few months ago, together with Maria and some other members of her crew.
Yep.
When the thought was, this is unfair that eMarketMed makes so much money from MGID and for client for so long. So it's a payback. The thing is, it is really altruism, pure one. No interest here at all. Obviously, this is kind of a monologue, but feel free to ask questions, interfere, whatever you want via chat.
We will have a proper Q&A also at the end. But guys, please, if you have any questions, drop them in the chat, of course, and I might have a few as well, Simon, for you as we go along. And really, once again, it's really great to have you here. And like you said, I'm glad that this idea came about in Budapest, and now here we are a few months later executing it. So we're all very excited to hear what you're going to say.
While we were preparing for the presentation, I thought, like, what could I share about, like, with somebody, like, I guess some of you are experienced media buyers, some of you are agencies, some of them are less familiar with native. I've embraced myself into the world of media buying about 15 years ago. I was working for iGaming companies. So when all my colleagues and teammates were kind of betting on Google and Facebook, I was the strange guy that was thinking that native is the shit. Back then, it wasn't that popular, like 2011, 12, like people didn't actually understand what is native ads all about. I guess I betted on the right horse here. because I always tell the story that when I was going in conferences 10 years ago, forex conferences and gaming, and you were telling them that you're doing native ads, they didn't have a clue what you talk. So they didn't know what is MGID or any other native platforms. I believe that this is one of the best era for media agencies and media buyers, especially those that are promoting this kind of line of verticals, whether if it's iGaming, gaming, fintech, to run native, because the other options are simply or becoming very complicated or even not accessible anymore because of different kind of regulation. So eMarketMed was born basically from the idea of let's make a very boutique performance agency. So the classic Cinderella story started hustling and start running ads for mainly for forex and fintech companies. Obviously MGID and some other native platforms were my first pick because this is the only thing that I knew how to do. And luckily it turned out to be a right decision because obviously the quality was there, the profitability was high, and this allowed me to kind of scale up. Right now, eMarketMed is one of the largest marketing agencies in Europe. So we are a team of almost 30 people managing few millions of dollars on a monthly basis. Beside native, we grew some other departments, but I guess native is the heart and soul of the company. And most of our services surrounding user acquisition, which we provide either on performance basis, like working on CPL or CPI, or as a pure full stack agency. So we onboard existing activity of somebody that runs, I don't know, activity on Facebook or TikTok or whatever, and we onboard them into MGID from A to Z, making sure that they will be able to scale and get the same, if not better result. Again, I'm going back to the blueprint. So the idea is not to share with you any fluff information that you can probably get from the web. So I try to think of what are the three pillars of success to make it big on any on MGID and be profitable on it. And I guess if I need to narrow down into three, because this is pretty much what I see. So there are three things that I think that every media buyer that is either trying to scale or considering to scale and bring his offers into MGID needs to consider. So I guess the first one is the CTR. If you understand the landscape of media buying and you understand the relationship between MGID and how it buys the traffic and the relationship between the CPC and the CPM, you understand that what really makes the difference here is who is capable to win the CTR competition. The more aggressive yet relevant you are in your ads, the better you have in terms of revenue. So you'll be yielding much more revenue because the platform will be recommending you much more because you're winning on and on the competition. So this is definitely something that sometimes people overlook it. Sometimes people just as a buzzword, CTR is the king. But it is really what makes a big difference here.
How do you, for example, navigate this approach where you said, we need to be as aggressive, but at the same time manage to stay compliant? So it's always kind of balancing game in this situation. So how do you manage to do that, to keep it engaging, to keep your CTRs high, but at the same time, not go too far?
I will say something, but I'm going to contradict myself in the third pillar of success. So it really depends on your level of your team, at what point you are in the game. If you're deep inside the game, scaling and managing 5-6 figures, and you already have a very consolidated benchmark, I like to consider myself in this category. Then we go wild. We're simply trying to reinvent the entire flow. Because again, we have a lot of ongoing activity that is solid, that has a very nice profit. So we're feeling secure because we have enough cushion to start doing testing. So this is like, especially with this era of AI, that there are amazing kind of creative and different kind of platforms. So we just go crazy. We're trying to go as crazy as possible just to see what will give us the best result. Because again, what sets me apart than of my competitor is how good is my CTR and what will be the relationship from the click to the visit, from the visit to the reg and whatever funnel you promote. So yeah, this is definitely one of the key elements. But again, the second pillar of success, and I'm going from the less important to the most important, will be, if you're new into this game, don't try to reinvent the wheel. Forget everything I just told you. Go to some spying tool, try to take in ideas from what others are doing. Just stick to what works. Because if somebody's running it for, I don't know, 10, 20, 50, 100 days, it means that most probably it works for him. If you just started running your ads and you don't want to risk it and you don't want to, put all the just start using similar stuff to the other people using, not just ads, the headlines, the description, the landing page. And then see, once you consolidate this, practice this simple act of bringing CPLs for a reasonable price or a CPA for a reasonable price, then start, leveling up and improving and start thinking of your own ideas. But till then, stick to basic. It will always work. Because if it won't work, it means that something is wrong with your offer or it's something wrong setup. The last most important thing, and I think this is the only thing that I won't reveal in this session, is your customer success manager. So whoever is managing your account, this is the real X factor here. And I think this is what, again, not kissing ass here, but if you need to set MGID apart from the other competitor native companies, I guess the customer success manager, the person that will be speaking with you, he is the real key for your success here. And unfortunately, not everybody are really thinking about it. But when we our media buyers and especially when they are junior media buyers, so the first thing that we teach them is how to communicate with the other side, and it starts from scratch. Whitelisting, blacklisting, share with me the CTRs. What are the eCPMs? What are my competition are using? What kind of ads? So they will be able to share with you a lot of information that will allow you to understand where you are in front of your competition, if it's in terms of the soft KPIs or even the hard KPIs. And JD has an amazing team of studios so that they will be able to assist you with the creative. So truly think that if you will exploit this relationship that you have in a good sense and start getting known better your manager, your account manager, and asking the right question, they will tell you exactly what is the path for success. And we got lucky to work with one of the most amazing customer success managers. And I believe that, again, true, really, this is the most genuine opinion, that without her, we most probably will fail at some point, because again, you cannot know what is happening on the back end of the platform. You don't know against who you're competing, what is his benchmark, what we should do in terms of improvement, the whitelisting, blacklisting. So I don't want to go into details too much, and obviously I will share my Telegram if somebody wants to ask questions. Obviously, and I will put it here. But without going into the details and the actual action items that you can get from the account managers, start with the most broad questions, and you definitely will be on the path for success here.
Thank you so much. First of all, it's amazing to hear such nice words, such great feedback about our team. And just like you're saying, I will just tell to the audience as well. There are clients, there are account managers. They're extremely knowledgeable. They know what they're doing. They know the platform. They know the verticals, they know the business. So do listen to them. Of course, sometimes, even if you might not agree with something that they suggest, usually there is a reason why we are suggesting certain strategies, and can definitely help you a lot. Thanks again for, it's always nice to hear such compliments. Okay, so we've gone over kind of what you mentioned as the three, let's say, main pillars. Anything else you would add, or anything else you would suggest?
I guess the next part will be actually to set up the account and see what works. But it's kind of a more psychological session where we actually need to understand each person problem. Obviously, every kind of issue, every kind of challenge has their own path. Whether if it's somebody that's saying, I'm doing amazingly well on Facebook and I just want to bring this activity into MGID. So how can I do that? So I guess this is a lot of my colleagues, a lot of friends of mine that selected to go on the social side, and now they're interested to run native and make it on MGID. There is always this common failure that they thinking that they're going to simply copy paste what they're doing on Facebook and expect it to work. So this is a more general conversation about what is native and what makes native tick and how you need to approach it. It is kind of combining all three pillars. Native is different than any other thing. Back in the days, like when I was buying MGD, it was manual. it was much uglier than it's right now. That now it's beautiful, and it was hot, so you couldn't see the site's name. So that was kind of different era. Now, everybody here are spoiled bastards. They're getting the best platform ever. Everything is automatic. You don't need to hustle too much. So you're getting everything. So since I'm from the old school kind of media buying, I wouldn't like I appreciate a lot one of those features that there are. So there is no so much thing to do. You just open a channel with your Telegram, with your account manager Telegram, ask him, I want to promote, this is the offer, this is my hero page. I don't know. It doesn't matter if you're running for a CPL offer for a Forex lead generation, or it's I don't know, any kind of insurance or a casino game that you want to use. Just share with them what you're trying to do. And most probably you're going to get the smartest answer. Don't listen to me, just listen to them. But normally the answer will be, let's make it more native kind of look and feel. So let's make sure that the landing page is not a landing page, it's a more like an advertorial. And let's make sure that the ads are not Facebook ads. Maybe let's try more static images, short GIF. This is kind of the thing that normally going to work much better on native than any other social platform.
And it also kind of ties in with what I was mentioning earlier, that with the introduction of all of these AI supported creatives, optimizations, this and that, it does give you more time to focus on strategies, to focus on creative strategies, on how you're going to shape your pre-landers, how you're going to make this a whole story that kind of fits into this native space. But yourself, like with a lot of experience, like you said, and years of working with the platform, I know you do use kind of a mix of strategies. So could you perhaps tell us a little bit about that? So in which cases you would see the benefit really of CPA tune, or in which cases you would maybe, as a very versed media buyer, like to have like a bit of control as well. So what's your strategy there?
So I guess, as I said, my biggest issue is that I'm too old. So I've been in this game for too long. So I'm approaching it from a very romantic perspective. So I like the manual kind of work. So I like the fact that MGID is one of the only few platforms out there that are not penalizing media buys for using manual bidding, because I like to control the manual side of the bidding. Now, it suits me good, but within my team, I have media buyers that saying, CPA, this is the shit. I don't touch anything manual. Why should I work that hard? I have a smart algo that does everything for me. So it's a kind of a, between my company, we don't have one single truth. So what works not necessarily works for somebody else. CPQ, it is a big game changer. It made everyone's life much easier, and obviously when everything ticks, when all the stars are aligned. So when the CTR is good, and when your click to lead is good, and when the lead to FTD is good, this is amazing, because you don't need to sit there and start, changing multipliers for 100 or 200 websites. So this is amazing. I guess that if you're a novice, if you just came from anything that is not native, just go CPA tune. That's the safest bet. Don't start with the manual side. However, if you are a skillful media buyer, and that you're coming from a programmatic background, you know how to run ads on display, used to do PMAX, so this is kind of DNA. Try it. So try to alternate. So I guess the CPA versus manual, definitely a test. Always slice the traffic, the campaigns per devices. We always keep it separated, the display from the mobile, sometimes the Android from the iOS. So have it, as separate as possible, and simply duplicate. So you created different kind of campaigns. You can simply duplicate. This one you run it for is on the CPA. This one you run it on the enhanced CPC. Not sure what's the right terminology. Like on the manual, just see what works the best. And one more thing that we like to use, there is nothing here top secret, but definitely everybody should use it, is the rules. So MGID has a very neat and clean and easy, accessible rules. So if you're optimizing forwards, I don't know, you have a legion offer in crypto or in Forex or whatever, and you are working back to back with the CPA or CPL goal, and you're working on a market where you are sleeping, the market is working, like Brazil in the US. I'm based in Israel. So
Mhm.
just put a simple rule for it to stop sites that underperforming, that I don't know, went above your CPA goal. That makes your life much easier, because you're gonna wake up in the morning and you won't find out that you got just bleed out all your money on the wrong website.
Yeah, makes sense. And there is, like you mentioned, we are constantly kind of trying to add new features, automate as much as we can, precisely for this reason, like to make just campaign management easier across different time zones, different users. And it's really great to hear that you also notice kind of a difference or an improvement, let's say, with or easier management with CPA Tune. While we do, of course, use this strategy a lot, and most of our performance buyers have been adopting it and scaling, it's really good to hear as well that you do these tests and kind of see with your experience, with programmatic, what is it that you can do also manually. So despite of this, of course, big push for AI, for automatic bidding and everything, we will always encourage clients to test different modes, of course, depending on their also experience and time that they have. So a combination of these is good. Okay, we also have one kind of case study that you wanted to share with us. So maybe if you could just guide us briefly through this specific example. So, what did you do? What happened? What were the results at the end?
I've mentioned that a few times already. So one big part of our activity is lead generation within the financial industry. So different kind of crypto forest company that acquiring users by using different kind of landing pages. So what we essentially done with these are normally activity that have ongoing activity on Google, on different kind of affiliation. In this case, we basically, unlike most of our activity where we work on performance basis, so we kind of hiding from them the source from which we're buying. In this case, we took an existing brand and we created for them the entire creative strategy and bidding, and we onboarded them inside MGID. So what we've done, we understood from them what were their main challenges. This specific brand was operating in Brazil, but they had different kind of activity in other regions in LATAM. So we said, we kind of created some kind of a trigger for ourselves. We created a milestone for us in terms of CPA and in terms of ROAS. So we said, what's your LTV for the customers that you were getting so far? So they gave us a figure. And then we asked them, okay, what's the CPA? So they shared this with us. And we asked them for about, I think the initial test, the POC was about $15,000. So we told them, give us $15,000, give us about a month. I think it was about 40 days, and let's see what we'll be able to achieve. So we brought all our know-how that we gathered for the past 10 years, and we simply amplified by creating a very specific campaign. Now, for those of you that tried or still continuing to try, specifically in Brazil, because Brazil it's quite special geo. Bad news and good news. Brazil is the toughest geo to promote on native ads for the simple reason that nobody allows to run it beside MGID. So you can try it. Like even if you will try and you will succeed to run it on other native platforms, you're probably gonna get some tier 5 traffic in terms of quality. So at the moment, MGID has the exclusivity in terms of quality validation, native platform on a reasonable CPC. So we knew from start that we're going to win this no matter what, because we knew where they were buying before. So the baseline that we started was quite high. On top of that, since we've been running in the Brazilian market via MGID for so many years, so I have a very, very strict list of sites that I know that works quite well. I know that they're bulletproof. They brought hundreds of FTDs. So we started with this list. And obviously, it happened quite right away. And we scaled this brand from 15. We went above 50 and $100,000. And the results were amazing. Not just in terms of, this is a different kind of mindset, because we show them that it's not about us doing low cost per lead or cost per FTD, but they saw that there is a big value coming from those depositors that were coming, because again, the traffic source was really premium and
Yeah.
no fluff, no bullshit. Like they actually can see from where it's coming from.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, you can generate a million leads, but if they are not going to actually result in deposits and everything, there's no point. So the quality is really primary here.
Yeah, but let's ask a question about the landing pages. Absolutely, we didn't add it on the presentation. If you want, you can feel free to ping me on DM me on Telegram or LinkedIn. I will share with you. It's not a one landing page, so this is something that I didn't mention. So we are a bit obsessed with variation. So normally when we have different kind of rules of how many landing pages for according to how much budget we spend, but normally it's somewhere between 5 to up to 10 different landing pages. That the variation can come in terms of different headline, different image, different squeeze page, but I will be able to share with you those that were performing the best.
Do you maybe have, just off the top of your head, like any tips on how to structure your landing pages? Just, a few things if we can give the audience before you actually send them the links.
Yeah, I will give you. Maybe it's not politically correct, but guys, go to a spy tool, see who is running the longest, and just take inspiration from his landing page. Don't try to build something from. There is a very specific flow when the customer is entering into the website. So those flows were written by blood, sweat, and tears. So it took us so much money and so much effort for so long to build it. So it's all about the structure, the wording, the headline, the image. They all can be replaced, but the flow should be pretty much the same. So you have the headline, you have some sub headline, impressive image. And nowadays, a lot of agencies, including us, using animated video. So the landing page is moving, not just a static image, and then some beneath it. And yeah, the rec page. Some of them gonna put the rec page on the right side. Some of them gonna put it down the funnel. It really depends what you're optimizing for. If you are in a position of affiliate and you're trying to get the highest income per click, so I guess I'm gonna put the rec form right at the beginning because I just care about the CPL, but my effective CPL. But if I'm more into the quality and I'm maybe in a CRG deal, so I have something going on a little bit deeper, so I guess I'm gonna make the reg a bit more complicated. So I'm gonna put it down. So it really depends what kind of goal, what's the aim of your campaign.
Yeah, makes sense. And also, I will say to anyone, like if you need any help or advice, obviously we cannot share like competitor examples or anything like that. But of course, our account managers will know based on their experience and their clients also to advise you when it comes to that together with the compliance team. This actually kind of ties in nicely since you already addressed the question that we received with the Q&A session. Before we go to the actual Q&A, Simon, is there anything else you wanted to bring up or discuss?
No, just bring on your questions, guys. If you have it here or if you're shy and you wanna the best device to target. That's a good question. It is a good question. What's the best device to target in LATAM? Again, I'm going to answer it like my wife with another question. What do you optimizing forwards to? So what's your goal here? If you're looking for cheap leads, obviously, Android will be my first pick. If you're into quality, definitely desktop and iOS.
And you mentioned earlier that, of course, like you would always split, right, when you're setting up
Always,
your campaigns and targeting. Okay.
always.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Any other questions? Anything else? No.
What's the best scaling strategy when optimizing forwards two KPIs? So I guess if when you're saying two KPIs, you're referring to lead or registration and then some kind of a purchase or deposit. So one of the best part about MGID is that you can fire both events. So one of the things that you need to make sure, I haven't said it, but it goes without saying, make sure that your tracking is in place, because if your attribution is screwed, you won't be able to optimize and the algo won't understand what you're trying to do.
Absolutely.
So what we're creating two kind of conversion events. The first one is lead in our case, or reg in case we're promoting casinos, and we have the FTD. So what we're creating a rules for how much we are willing to pay for a registration, And then we create another rule, how much we're willing to pay for a CPA. And that way, first of all, if we might get sloppy with optimization, the rule will stop it. And the, the media buyer just keep monitoring of the performance. But visually, your team should see both a column of lead and column of FTD. And
Mhm.
according to the mathematics of your offer, you need to decide what is what, which is the average CV rate from lead to deposit in Brazil. That's really big question. It's really hard to say. The range here can start from 0.5%, but it really depends what kind of industry, what's their minimum deposit, if it's a full sell, like without interference of a call center or with a call center agent. It is higher than what you would expect from Facebook by far. Google search, it's almost impossible, so I won't even include it. Among other native platforms, again, there is no competition because you cannot run financial offers in Brazil with anybody else beside MGID. So the range in our case can be somewhere between 2 to up to 5% CR. This is what we see.
Maybe in the meantime, while we ask for this question, just to go back to your previous answer, right, with setting up tracking. Of course, this is a must for any performance-based campaigns, for any CPA tune campaigns. And ideally, it's really good if we are able to track those additional events, right? So not just the final sale, in order to get more data, in order to feed the algorithm better. So definitely not just for financial offers, but in general, like for any performance based, we do recommend to have tracking with additional events being tracked and optimized towards in some cases.
I have a question here from Digital Brothers. What kind of pre-landing is the best one? News editorial? It's a good question because you kind of answer it. News editorial, it's the common one. Everybody
Mhm.
are using, probably everybody using the same one. It really depends again what you're trying to achieve. It won't get necessarily the highest value for your brand, for your customers, but it surely will generate relatively cheap CPL, effective CPL. So definitely news editorial if you're into more kind of a cheap leads. If you want to have a more value for your customers and you have like a CRG deal and you need to meet certain CPA goal, don't use news editorial. It's too aggressive and different kind of audience. I would go more into the traditional kind of items, commodities, gold, like depending on what your customers are looking for.
Okay, this is a really good tip. Have another question coming in soon as well.
What would be recommended starting budget for launching a native advertising campaign in the financial niche?
That's a good question.
Yeah, that's it's a good question. I don't know.
I mean, it depends from our perspective, of course. Like, it depends on also the strategy that you will be working with. So, for example, a good benchmark for CPA tune campaigns is to usually go with starting budget of 5 to 7 times the value of your target CPA. So that's one kind of guideline that you should stick to. Yeah, Simon, how do you usually?
We don't buy. The thing is that we don't buy unless we have a demand. So it's either
Mhm,
we manage somebody's budget. So he gave us a very predefined budget for us to fulfill on daily or weekly basis,
mhm,
or we have some kind of a order of leads that we need to deliver. There is no recommended budget. It's more like how many leads you need to provide, and based
mhm,
on this, it will be easier to calculate how much budget you need because
mhm,
you can reverse engineer, understand what's the expected CPL that you should have, and according to this, you'll be able to. The good news is that if we're speaking about LATAM leads, Mexico and Argentina and Brazil, they're relatively cheap.
yeah.
So theoretically speaking, after $1,000, you can already see result. But it depends on what you're trying to achieve here. You scaling or you just have a tiny small order. Or, when back in the days, since MJD was so precious in terms of quality, and, we were combining it with different kind of traffic sources that has a poor quality
Mhm,
just to meet the conversion goal. So we were mixing it with something else. So it's
yeah,
kind of a cocktail with something very premium that we know for sure that converts very well and has a high value, and we were combining it with something that is not. but again, or maybe optimizing forwards a CPL goal or a different CPA that was challenging. So
Mhm.
this is kind of for us using MGID as the instrument of the X factor in terms of quality.
Yeah, interesting. Interesting to hear that you kind of go from the other side, right, to decide on the budget. But like I said, there are some best practices that, of course, your account manager will also share with you. And the great benefit of advertising on this market is, like you said, you saw also in the chart that kind of an average usual target CPA would be around $8-10, which also then means that, like Simon mentioned, with $1,000 budget spent on a test, you can get a pretty good idea of what works, what it doesn't. We get a lot of data and can optimize based on that. Okay, perfect. Do we have any final questions? We have a few minutes left. So if there are no further questions at the moment, I think we can slowly wrap it up. Guys, there's our contact information as well in the chat. So if you think of anything after this webinar, please don't hesitate to reach out either to Simon or to me. Of course, for our existing clients, you have your account managers as well, which can help you if you're looking into starting running in this market or you're looking to scale in this market. We will be, of course, happy to help you with any strategy and tips. Simon, thank you so much. This was very, very insightful. I don't know, conversations with you are always great and interesting. And I'm very happy that
Thank you.
you joined us today and shared a little bit of your secret of your success. So it was really great to have you. Hope to host you again sometime in the future. Thank you.
I have Maria. Thank you so much for having me. I see another question from the audience.
Oh, there
Uh,
is. Perfect.
a late bloomer. A late bloomer.
Better late than never.
Yeah. No. If it's a CPA deal, yes, Avi. You should use it. You should know better, Avi. Don't ask me silly questions. You know the answer by yourself. Nah, VSL doesn't work. Whoever tells you VSL works for lead gen,
Yeah.
he's just trying to squeeze you money. Unfortunately, the VSL length is too long. The concept is too complicated. Again, unless you're going deep inside the funnel and you have some kind of a skin in the game, like a revenue share or a very high CPA, then yes, I know that it's normally being used heavily by e-com guys like Nutra Pharma. They love it, and it's also kind of a format that didn't prove itself, from my experience, on anyone beside Americans. So American, maybe like North America, they're kind of eased with listen to something for 15 minutes.
Mhm.
European and Latin Americans are more, they don't have the patience to listen.
Yeah, just tell me what it is, right? Right away, so I can make a decision. Yeah, and I agree actually from my experience as well. It's exactly as Simon has said. So we don't really see VSL pre-lenders in the finance vertical very much. Okay, and I will ask again because we got one late question. So any other last minute questions? Okay, then in that case, we can wrap it up. Again, thank you so much, Simon. Thank you to the audience as well. Really, really great questions. I'm glad that you found it insightful and that you were interested in learning more. Again, repeating, you can always reach out to your account manager, to me, or Simon directly. Wishing everyone who celebrates happy holidays, happy Hanukkah, Christmas. And Simon, I'm really excited to see what next year brings for eMarketMed and MGID. And of course, for everyone else in the audience as well. So thank you
Thank you.
so much.
Happy holidays, guys.
Bye bye. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Good evening. Bye bye.